Hi, I'm Daniel, and it's finally time to review the Lego Movie 2, the second part. I wrote that game before this video got delayed for an extra 2 weeks. The sequel had a yard builder with spin-off movies, there's only 3 Lego movies. I have been excited to discuss this, but since the first movie was released, I knew it was great. It had interesting expansion and story points to look at. Maybe anyone sees this as bad, but I will still defend this strongly. In this video, I analyse what works to spoil you, so watch the movie first, it's worth it. Lego Movie 2, the second part, released in early 2019 as the 5-year anniversary of the first movie. It's weird that this is now 4 years old. It had decent marketing or was anticipated, but still ended up bombing, partially because How to Train Your Dragon and the Hidden World released around the same time, but also the reviews. They were decent but genuinely underwhelmed. This movie isn't praised like it should be because it's amazing. It's almost together with the other 2 Lego movies, but to be honest, the start of the video. It continues from the first movie's end of Duplo attacking, then it cuts to 5 years later. Bricksburg is now Apocalypseburg, where everyone is redesigned to be darker, except Emmett. He listens to a great cover Everything's Awesome, while repeating some parts of the first movie with the same design. I like the contrast of Emmett and Wild's style, but the comedy is more hit or miss at the start and slower. It is different to the usual fast-paced comedic style of this franchise. The location gets boring immediately, and the chase scene is lackluster, especially when the first movie had a way better chase scene around this time. General Mayhem takes Wild-style Batman, Unikitty, Benny, and Metalbeard to space. There's little present business in this, but it makes sense with the man upstairs appearing off-screen only. There's also a limited bad cop. I understand why he wasn't there, but it's a bit of a shame considering how great he was previously. With his friends taken, Emma has to go on a solo mission. From this point on, the movie is on the L to the amazing Lego movies with something more. Being whatever I wanna be is cool, being an abstract Lego in many forms. And that has a small reveal to it. She tries to act non-suspicious but ends up suspicious to Wild style, but the others trust her by that great song. While the other Lego movies had music, this is more of a musical. And I think that was a good choice to enhance the other scenes. Catchy song isn't really catchy and it's better in version than the chorus. However, it is well fitted to the scene and both main characters are trying to escape from this world. The 3 side characters of Unikitty, Benny and Metalbeard aren't relevant and are just there for some funny lines. This is a problem but one I can ignore over others. The side characters feel more like a unit is more accepted for animated movies, it's just the first Lego movie avoided that issue. Lego Batman went back from a spin-off development, which is funnier showing Apocalypseburg. For the sake of canon, I assume this is set for universe, so it makes sense because it's a kid playing with Lego. This movie involves Queen Wannabe trying to marry Batman for the unity of their world. Batman originally doesn't want to, but after the song about how she's not into Gotham City guys, that convinces Batman. I like how this starts off as a trick with the atron of actually having a dynamic. It subverts what you would think, and this movie knows you about subversion. The ice cream guy coordinating is funny as well. A character with that design being so monotone and annoyed is funny. This movie manages its new characters while remembering the old characters as well. Kyle's style has improved beyond, feels like equal main character to Emmett. It doesn't need to sacrifice one to give more attention to the other. She starts off wanting Emmett to change for the dark and edgy times. She wasn't going along with anything being told, and her hair gets revealed to be naturally blue. It fits her character to have drawn over her hair to seem more edgy and mature. Her foil is General Mayhem, who will fight scene where her face is revealed. The whole seriousness was an act, because that's the only way they thought the other world would understand. This was really about creating peace and the Queen wasn't evil. So who is the villain? Well, Emmett's story across this movie involved him being pushed to be more serious and mature, which is why he meets Rex Dangerous, a character of an action hero who's also voiced by Chris Pratt. Somehow knows what Emmett did and mentors him through the journey across the Sistar system. Emmett yearns to be more tough and has a strong punch. Wildstar asks for this but doesn't know how to feel about this change. When she found out the truth about this, she tried to convince Emmett, but Emmett was listening to what Rex saying, believing she was brainwashed, and destroys the ceremony in one punch to the set. His influence with Rex Dangerous, who is a twist villain, that was predictable by quite a while away. But that movie isn't really hiding it, and makes the audience think that's all there is to the twist. When the red herring is revealed, it immediately cuts to show him as the real villain. Later, it's revealed the real twist of who Rex really is. Going Gold time travel to say that he is the future version of Emmett. He crossed the stairgate without a Rex to save him, so ended up being stuck in the dryer and felt abandoned. That made him change to who he is now, and yet the cornerstone and male protagonist, a young and masculinity maturity as it's seen to be. This old plot element works. It's interesting to think about a universe where Emmett became Rex Dangerous. They seem so different, but it ends up making more sense the more you think about it. Of course, it's a question of who made Emmett that way. It was kind of Rex, but he didn't originally push himself to act like that. It was due to this attitude being internalized from the society he lives in. Style ties to the story of Emmett by trying to get him to change. The first half makes it seem like Emmett needs to yearn, but it's really the world that needs to yearn. This is a clever twist for recontextualizing the rest of the movie. It adds new experience on rewatch. Now it's Wildstyle's turn to be cut to the human world, as she has been yearning the lesson. I like the choice to have her watch things than a real Lego figure instead of Emmett again. Okay, the main complaint you see about this movie is that the twist of there being real humans playing with them is known, so it uses its impact. I disagree, but I think knowing it adds to it. The first half can make it more obvious with many hints of it being from a childhood perspective. It goes further with bad wordplay like Stargate, Sister, System, and Armageddon. Opening scene was really thin, building a half for his sister, who ended up causing some destruction. Wannabe really being that heart is such a great mini twist. It's not too important, but adds a nice detail to her character. War between the worlds were contrasted the siblings, and that was translated to the Lego world. That's why the sister system was trying to communicate in a tougher way by taking some Lego figures. This movie has a strong theme with influencing. That's what happened to Emmett, and that's what's been happening to the other world. And the whole story of Rex, Emmett, and Wildstyle is really what Finn's been going through. The fighting caused the mother to get in, Volve, and steps on Lego piece. I like most of the comedy of this movie, but that joke is too cheap and pandering. Stepping on Lego isn't even that bad. There's way worse things to step on. She bans Lego and knocks the piece in storage, which leads to the best song in the movie, Everything's Not Awesome. That title sounds like a joke, but this scene is actually sad where everyone is defeated. Whilst I was the only one who still has hope that everything can be awesome in a yes idealistic kind of way, and it makes me think to save Emmett. This scene was an amazing way of callback into the first movie without it feeling forced. It shows the change from Wildstyle and everyone else. I also like the simplicity of the cinematography during that scene. Rex needs Emmett to become him, so sends him to the dryer. Rex starts fighting him, and then Wildstyle comes to save him, or them. The character of Rex Dangerous is interesting, though being made sympathetic from his backstory. However, this still shows him the villain who wanted to cause conflict for everyone else because he was salty. He didn't care about everyone getting sent to storage and only cared about himself. Very even himself since he was trying to destroy Emmett. I think the time travel protagonist angle works better when he has last bit of respect for Emmett. He starts Back to the Futuring as he calls it, as a movie older kids get to watch. Another thing, I love how Rex is aware of tropes in the universe he's in. I love that scene where he says no, that's real and it's just a mind about adolescence. While Emmett doesn't know what that means, it's a good use of self-aware comedy where one character doesn't understand it, and they're also the same character. Okay, so what are the humans doing? Finn manages to reunite him playing with his sister, and this is just really nice. I like how this continues the metaphor of Finn, but to show his relationship with another family member this time. This movie takes what already works and adds elements to it. The comedy eventually speeds up with mostly funny lines and moments. All characters have good moments, even ones with little to do. The timing of each moment is mastered, and I like that. The ending is uplifting, showing a better world as Switch is the start, but it's Wildstar who shows Emmett the house. It has a copy of the original album for Everything is Awesome, and it's revealed that Wildstar wrote it. This feels like something that was always intended, that is a sign of natural sequel progression. It tied to the song's meaning it was meant to be all possibilities got corrupted with propaganda. Wildstar's hatred of her old self grew from this, but now is more comfortable in who she is. This works in continuing and having parodies of certain tropes work in context, like the scene where Wildstar tells the truth and Emmett thinks that isn't her. It is similar to the common trope of I love you for you and shows Emmett's hero mindset but was wrong. That misuse ties to how the story wasn't about Emmett changing. The other Lego movies are held back by their straight relationships not being great. Keep in mind I specify straight to exclude Batman and Joker. This has two that are a lot better. It shows the flaws of Emma Wildstar while showing why it works in a relationship. It's way less forced than it was in the first. The new location of all the design and the animation looks great. It even keeps some master building scenes. When will everyone accept how amazing this movie is? It has some problems like a slow start, unimportant side characters, and some forced reference jokes. But a lot of other similar movies have those problems but worse. When this works has some of the best parts in the franchise. Ties to everything set up in a very complex way. I wanted to give it a 10 out of 10. but it's stuck at a high 9 out of 10. Still, this deserves far better than it's given and shouldn't be forgotten. In conclusion, I got to the final movie, but it's not the end of this part of Legospective. I have more videos, like one aspect of this movie I glanced over, and comparing it to a no reason animated movie. I don't know if it could be guessed by that, but I hinted at it before. This was another video that got the yay further than it should have. Anyway, consider pressing subscribe and watching more from my channel. The end.